So the most important step, how should the fiduciaries, the organizations who collect and process personal data, be ready for handling or building a really robust and stable consent mechanism or consent system? Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on data privacy, and we will talk about building up a robust consent mechanism system in this video. First important thing which is important from a consent point of view is the user interface. It should not be so difficult to handle that users prefer to drop off. Why to spend so much of time on these complicated things? Too many questions, too many prompts, complex, unclear messages. So people are not sure what does it actually means. People are not sure whether they are applying for the right thing or the right direction or not. Confusing toggles. I agree, I disagree kind of toggles. So too much of these confusing things, it could lead into many opt-out rates. People might end up giving a unwanted consent, you can say, not so free consent, which is not the right thing. Free consent is the first requirement. So you have to be very careful about the user interface and the consent screens along with their languages and icons. It's not only a matter of multilingual, but it's a matter of whatever language but understandable. Consent should be there, spread across all the apps, CRMs, and tools. Fine. If it's a large organization, they would have apps, they would have their CRMs, they would have their website, and they could have several other tools which are capturing consent. Digital, non-digital, but capturing consent. And remember, DPDP access, non-digital, but digitized later. So if they are not properly set aligned, they look into different data silos. There has to be a central visibility or control. It should not be that I provide a consent through one of your websites, and when I log into the app with the same login, it still asks me for the consent. Data sync issues should not be there, because if data sync issues are there, there could be compliance gaps. The example I gave was on a very positive side. What if I log into your website through my login and revoke my consent? And that does not get synced up properly because you think on the app the consent is still there. So the idea is that whatever change a user does, especially in terms of consent, through any of the given tool, they should get synced with each other. There should not be any compliance gap that people are not able to understand and you are not able to handle properly. There are older systems, they don't have consent logs. Well, you need to get ready, upgrade, have better systems, create consent logs, and then if you have consent logs, then only you are in a situation that you can prove that you are compliant with the regulations. There are vendor dependencies, no doubt. There could be SaaS risks. If you are using a third party, you are hosted it on a cloud service provider. You are using a consent management software provided by a third party, hosted in some SaaS. I know a lot of them are hosted on SaaS. They don't have on-prem license capability also, right? So then you need to be ready in terms of handling or having proper contracts, data processing agreements with those providers and those vendors. Be very careful when you are choosing the third party vendor, especially in terms of consent. Lack of APIs can create an issue in tracking of the consent. Consent should not flow broken between tools. In a way, like this discussed in the previous slide, they should get synced up properly. So it should not be broken. I get into a tool and make a change to consent which is not visible to the other tool. No. Each tool should talk to a centralized database, right? Not independent databases. That's the ideal scenario. And of course, you rely on third party user interfaces, but you have to control them. Right? You're not building them, but you have to control them. So whether you should build a consent system, you should buy it, or you should integrate it. You should build in-house. Well, you have a perfect control over it, but high cost, because it's a proprietary system you are developing for yourselves. Whereas there will be a lot of third-party tools available in the market. You want to buy them? Buy them. It's quick, immediately implementable, right? You may lack some customization capabilities, but it is quick. And what about integrating them? Then you need to be very sure about your own IT as well as about the third party tool that you are buying to integrate with your existing systems. You should evaluate based on your own possibilities of arranging infrastructure as well as risk that you may take till the time you decide for a particular option. So, what is the readiness checklist? There has to be a central consent registry in your system. All consents registered at one particular place. Audit trails should be available across all tools. It has to be a multilingual user interface, cannot rely on a single language. Consent withdrawal should be automated. Very, very important. And your tech and legal team should be aligned. Consent expiry should also get documented, notified before it actually gets expired. So that's about readiness towards building a robust consent mechanism with respect to the DPDP Act. Details as provided in the latest document issued in June 25 by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.